How you doing? This is Brother T. If you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts and other merch right there in the description. Just hit the link.
You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
How you doing? This is Terry Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to call this channel T's Life Tree, and on this channel we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Before we get started, I need you to do us a favor. I need you to hit the subscribe button. I need you to hit the like button. While you at it, hit that little bell on there, the notification bell. Make sure it says all notifications. If you can do that, you'll be good with me. All right, so let's get right into it. This is the next up in the fill in the blank, ruin the relationship series. Today, specifically, we're going to talk about how pastors ruin the relationship. Now, this is going to be one of those episodes where I'm going to trigger a lot of things, and a lot of people are going to look at this episode and say, you know, I knew I didn't like him. And no, I'm not attacking religion, okay? I'm just attacking the way we look at things. That's it. I'm just attacking the. So I'm not talking about, there's a lot of great pastors out there. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing for their flock. They're leading their flocks to a greater way of living and a greater way of life. And at least with their doctrines, lead them to whatever afterlife that they believe in. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Now, I do have a problem with some of the manipulators, all right, that get in the pulpit and they manipulate people. They manipulate people out of money. They manipulate people out of different things. They manipulate people into just working for them and building their empire. When I say their empire, I'm not talking about the congregation. I'm talking about the pastor himself. They're building his empire, or his or her empires. I gotta be unisex with that one, right? The guy or girl, they're getting their empire built, and everybody else is broke. Everybody else is catching the bus. Everybody, you get what I'm saying? They're struggling to get to church, right? And they might offer a church bus, whoop-de-doo, thanks. And then you still have to pay tithes, right? Okay. That aside, I just wanted to give that disclaimer so you know I'm not coming after your pastor if your pastor is doing what he's supposed to be doing. It's not what Brother T is doing, okay? I just want to attack the people that are out here manipulating and playing games. So let's go to some of these pastors. One of the first things they did, they removed accountability. All right, so you have to be accountable for who you are. You can't remove culpability or accountability in any type of relationship. Once you do that, you are opening yourself up for that relationship to fail. Every single time, no exceptions. You're opening it up. I didn't say you're going to fail every time. I said you're opening it up in order for it to fail, for the opportunity for there to be cracks in the foundations that'll lead to failure, right? That sound better to you? All right. So if you have no accountability, let me give you an example. Certain things don't work in a relationship. You might have a marriage where things don't work out. He might even be abusive in the marriage. You've had pastors through the years that advise that they stay together, even if there was physical abuse. Now, who in their right minds would advise a woman to stay with a man that's knocking their brains out literally on a daily basis? Why would you do that? And then they would use biblical text or certain scriptures to back up what they're saying and to keep that woman in that abusive situation. That is irresponsible. Irresponsible. Now, I do know it's not easy to give somebody advice on something like that, right? On a marriage that's going south. My advice would be get as far away from him as you can if he's physically abusing you. That doesn't make sense. But I've actually heard pastors preach this. You have to stay with him. You have to stay married to him. That's who you married to. You can't marry more than one time. So you have to be married to this guy. That doesn't make sense. All right. So that's one way that's some of these pastors have ruined the relationship. Some pastors allowed themselves to become the head of the household. Now, what do I mean by that? You know, if you look at relationships in a traditional manner, you're going to look at it as the woman and then the man as the head of the household, and then, you know, Christ above the man, and you get what I'm saying, then whatever. That's the hierarchy, right? If you're a Christian, that is. Now, or even in other religions, like a lot, men are looked at as the head of the household. Okay, so they're the end all be all to a lot of the situations. If things, what that means is, man, because I know you like hearing that, but there's a double meaning to that too. It goes the other way. That means when something goes bad, you're going to be the first to get blamed because you're the one in charge. Okay, there you go. So if you want to take that charge, you want to take that mantle, you want to be the head, be the head. But when bad things happen, you have to be the first to say, okay, that's on me. Let's go forward. So how did the pastor become the head of the household? They allowed women to disrespect their husbands, and they would give advice to the wives, especially if the men weren't in the church. Okay, the pastor would become the new head of that household. Now, if you had a situation where you were at home and you got into a disagreement with your wife, as the husband, she would start saying, well, pastor said, or pastor said this. And let me do a side note to some of you ladies out there. This is one insight into what a man is when he's on his purpose and he's a leader and he steps up. We do not like you deferring to other men if you belong to us. Now, I'm saying it in that way to get you to get what I'm saying. Okay, because I don't do the whole property thing, but I'm just putting it that way so you get what I'm saying. If you're over here, do not let somebody over there be the head of what's over here. You get what I'm saying? So when we're telling you, hey, this and that, don't hit us with another man and what they said. Guys do not like that. Real men don't like it. All right. Now, every now and then, if you say, hey, what do you think about pastor when he said this? If you put it in that way, then your husband might agree with him and say, hey, that does sound like a good idea. But when you say, no, you don't know what you're talking about because pastor said this and pastor said that, and that's the way it's got to be, you're opening yourself up for your relationship to fail. So the pastors that have preached like this throughout the years and put themselves at the head of people's household in their congregations, especially when they had husbands that didn't belong to the congregation, they were in error. And what they did, they helped ruin the relationship. So what else have pastors done over the years to ruin the relationship? They gave very terrible advice to the single women. Very terrible advice to the single women. And you're saying like what, Brother T? What what do you mean terrible advice? Terrible advice would be advice like, don't worry, girl, just wait for your man. God is sending your man. Just don't worry about it. He's waiting right around the corner. As long as you go ahead and keep paying your tithes and coming to church and being faithful, I'm telling you, God has your man waiting on you. That's the worst advice I ever heard. The worst advice I ever heard. What you have to do first is work on you. Once you work on you and become a better version of you, then you're going to draw in that man that you want. It's going to be more of a law of attraction thing than your God doing it, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that, I'm not being disrespectful to what you believe in, but what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter what higher power that you serve. If you do not put yourself in position for that higher power to bless you, then you are not in position to be blessed. You're going to go bless yourself, and then you're going to put it on God, right? What you're going to do is you're going to put yourself in a situation where you just meet up with somebody that's halfway, and then you're just going to accept it and say, God did it, right? You're going to put that union together yourself. It's not going to have anything to do with God. You're just going to blame him. And then when that happens, you're not talking about God anymore, right? It's all about that man or that woman being bad, right? At that point, right? But when you got together and everything was all good, it was God, right? That's what I'm saying. So that was terrible advice to tell women that. What some of these pastors should say is, if you're looking for a good man, especially a man that's going to be on his purpose, a man that's going to be the problem solver, if he's going to be the provider, protector, if he's going to take charge of the situation, be a head of the household, be, where all problems end with this guy, right? He's going to support you. He's going to love you more than life itself, right? More than you get what I'm saying. If you're going to meet that guy, if you're a pastor and you're giving advice, look, first of all, be as fit as you can. Get to the gym. Be more physically appealing. How about being a little more feminine? All right. If you're fit and you're feminine, you're going to get more attention. I guarantee you. And if you're believing in a higher power, it makes it easier for the higher power to send what you want. Because if you want a man to be handsome, good looking, have means as far as financial, and he has his mind together and everything's together, and you want that guy, he probably wants somebody that's fit and feminine. Think about it. But if you just sit there and you do whatever and you're looking like whatever, you don't even take care of yourself, it's like you don't even care, but you expect to get this perfect dude. It doesn't make sense. It's bad information, bad. And I've heard preachers preach like that. And I'm sitting in the audience like, what is he talking about? In my opinion, some of them are keeping you single so you can stay there and keep giving them those tithes. That's what I believe personally with some of them. Like I said, this is not directed at all pastors, so I don't think it's some kind of attack on religion or something. It's not. I'm talking about the ones that are out there hustling. Sister, I know it's been 30 years and you've been without a man for 30 years or a husband, but he coming. Bad advice. If you're going to advise women, especially ladies that have in their advanced ages, let's say, right? We're not even talking about mature. We're not even talking about cougar age. They're past cougar age now. Now we're talking like the 65s, the 70s. So you know what I'm saying? You're still a woman. And I've seen, actually, believe it or not, I've seen 65, 70-year-old women look really really good. But if we're to be honest with ourselves, it's not the norm for them to be, put together and looking like that, right? So, to advise somebody that's 70 years old, they're still looking for a husband, like they gonna find a husband around the corner. It's bad advice. Like every now and then it's gonna be one that gets lucky and finds somebody and they match up and boom, there you go. But it's bad advice. For one thing, women outnumber men. And then older women really outnumber older men because men die earlier. So what are you doing? What kind of advice? Man, let me wrap this up. Okay. So once again, I have to say this for the third time. And this is the reason why I'm saying this so much, because I know religion can be a touchy subject out there. People don't like to joke about it. People don't like me going there, but I have to tell the truth. And if you find that at your church, you're getting this crazy advice, how about adopt that thing where you chew the meat and spit the bones, right? And for those that don't know what that saying means, hey, take the things that work for you and the things that don't work, spit them back out. So when you hear your pastor talk like that, and in every other area, he's a good pastor, he's a good leader, and he's really doing what he's supposed to do, but he starts doing that, spit that out and go with the stuff that works for you and makes you better out here. Okay. Now, this has been your man, Brotha T. I enjoy talking to you every single second. I don't take it for granted at all that you spend time looking at a brother. So let me tell you, this has been a great series. Look for more to come. This is your man, Brotha T. I'll catch you on the next one, family. Peace.